What is up, everyone? It's Ohan, it's Friday, and this week we're talking about personal victories. Part of talking about personal victories for me is also talking about not comparing yourself to others, which are two different things, but they are related things because you're more likely to diminish or devalue or not notice your personal victories when you're constantly comparing yourself to other people. We're our hardest and harshest critics most of the time. And especially when being part of a community means constantly sharing information, which is a good thing, it can become super overwhelming. For example, after some trans guys get surgery, there's a line that they'll say a lot of the time that's like, couldn't be happier with my results. That's just a thing people say. They post a picture of themselves. They say, I got my surgery on this day with this doctor and I couldn't be happier with my results. Well, let me tell you, whoever's watching, I'm standing here right now on February 16th, and I could be way fucking happier with my results. And that sounds really terrible. That might sound really terrible. It perhaps sounds ungrateful. And I have to take a step back and realize that the shit I have been through is a personal victory. Like, I made it through all of that. And if you don't know what all of that is, real briefly, um, I had top surgery about a year ago. I expected to get standard double incision with nipple grafts, and that's not what happened. And nobody told me that that's not what happened. So, yeah. But in its own way, it was a personal victory. And it's also been a personal victory to share it and talk about it. Any single day that I feel good about my body or I want to share parts of my body, that sounded sexual, but I don't mean it like that. I just mean, like, be proud of my progress. That's a personal victory as well. If I'm feeding myself properly in a day, that's a personal victory. If I turn one negative thought, if I put the wall down, oh, the wall, God, I can't even say that. If I stop a thought from going down the negative path and I just, nudge it a little to even somewhere neutral or, God forbid, somewhere positive, that's a personal victory. Another thing that really gives me anxiety is new anything. So if I go to a new place, like let's say it's a doctor I've never been to before and I have to find it and go to the place and whatever, like that's a personal victory. Even just a couple months ago, I started going to the gym more regularly, and I'm working on coming up with plans and stuff because part of how I'm coping with my chest is by putting my energy and focus of where I do have control, and that's diet and exercise, but also not letting that get out of control, which is very easy for me to do. I guess personal victory is like taking care of yourself. It's related to self-care. It's related to not comparing yourself to others. It's related to a whole bunch of things. It's related to trying new things. It's related to having anxiety and fear and dread about something but doing it anyway. And not every day can be a day filled with personal victories. Just like anything, there are ups and downs. I don't want to say it's the little things or the simple things. They might be small things, but they hold a lot of meaning. So just, take a moment to reflect and really appreciate yourself and the progress that you're making. And if, let's say, it's a lull, a period where you're not really moving, I mean, then I feel like you just have to appreciate your progress relative to that time, if that makes sense. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, I read like 16 books yesterday and talked to 7 friends. Evaluate your progress within the means of your mental health, your state of mental health or whatever. I also want to quickly mention that I did not forget about the Q&A week. I was unable to make my video because my phone didn't have enough space on it, and then my computer is from 2009 and is like really struggling right now, so I couldn't take stuff off my phone and put it on my computer. It was just a whole day of bad technology not being on my side. I'm gonna have to refilm it and I'm gonna have to redo it. I will post it. I don't know if I'll post it on Transtastic, maybe my personal channel. details to come, but it is not forgotten. And thank you for sending in those questions. So, with that said, I hope you'll have a great weekend and celebrate your personal victories and yourselves, because y'all are wonderful and beautiful. All right, take care.